The idea of free will is something we have talked about, especially when we were talking about the eighth chakra. And it does come up here very clearly when we're working on our fifth chakra, because it is such a point of free will when we look at the choices that we are making in terms of, am I living at this level or this level? Think about it. I mean, that really is, even though, we have this context, we have these contracts, we have all of this information that we're born into by way of our eighth chakra, and these destiny points that we are here to live out. And yet free will comes in when we start to make the choices about how are we going to fulfill these? What person am I going to be when I fulfill this? Like, if I'm someone who's choosing to get married, I could be a couple of different ways within that relationship. And that could really alter the quality of the relationship, even though, here I am being essentially who I need to be in this relationship as per our soul contract. And I am with that person. And yet I have choices here about how I show up in that relationship based on, the kind of work that I'm doing, or what it is that I am willing to work through. Especially when we look at relationships, closer relationships, that will often ask us to do some of that deeper work, some of that work that comes from the first, second, and third chakras. Is a common thing that comes up in relationships. So, the fifth chakra is a place where we get to play a lot, especially in relationships, but it applies to everything. It's how I show up for my business. It's how I show up for work. It's how I show up for school. It's, whatever it is, that I have options here of being this aspect of myself or that aspect of myself, and, really any combination in between. So one of the things that I highly encourage you to do as you're working on your fifth chakra is connecting to your eighth chakra. Since the first module, we did that activation meditation, go ahead into your eighth chakra and spend some time there, and then draw the energy down through your chakra system. Okay. Not just stopping at the fifth. I mean, pause within 7 and, in descending order, 6, 5, 4. So you can certainly spend a little time there, but draw that eighth chakra energy down, 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 as it will inform your energy body with information, with the coding that it needs, with the energy that it needs, for you to start to default a little bit more and a little bit more each time to you acting on behalf of your higher self. Because the more of that energy you allow in, and the more that you allow it to be readily available, the more you are connected to the essence of who you are, and the essence of your soul contracts and everything else. That there is this sort of tipping point, this energetic tipping point, that is going to cause you to feel more compelled to act on behalf of the highest version of yourself. And I do find that drawing down that eighth chakra energy is very, very powerful when it comes to this. So when we look at the eighth chakra as it relates to the fifth chakra, this is really what we are looking at. This is where, we have our contracts, destiny points, the whole list goes on and on. We have our personality. And this is where we get to play with where is that wiggle room? How am I going to play with it? Okay, so I'm supposed to go work on that. Well, how do I want to show up to that? So the fifth chakra is really where our free will is most potent within our energy system, especially as it relates to the eighth chakra. This is our point of choice and then expression. And so it's important when you're doing the fifth chakra work that you want to invite in that eighth chakra energy, because that really is going to encourage this sort of higher level living, if you will. And what it really does is it helps you to establish more and more your essence and embodying your essence, because that's the tipping point we're looking for. So we're sort of defaulting back to the heart in a way, but your heart, again, is what is most dialed into your highest essence, which is directly connected to your 8th chakra. So the more that you embody the qualities of your essence, and so I find that bringing that down from the 8th chakra on a regular basis, like on a daily basis, is a really beautiful way to keep your self-expression, to keep your choices coming from that higher place. I'm Katie Bray. Thanks for watching. This was just one segment out of 8+ hours of videos that I have available through my energy architecture course. You can preview an hour of the 8th chakra. It's linked below for you to watch for free. There's other energy architecture videos that you can watch just right over here. Please